Tonight, see how Troy is partnering with community colleges.
Plus, learn how students can become part of the Student Government Association. Stay tuned, Troy. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for August 29, 2014. I'm Xavier Harris.
And I'm Haley Greathouse. Thank you for joining us this evening. Many students choose to attend a community college before they go to a four-year university, but according to statistics, not many of those students actually graduate with an associate's degree. Well, this is where Troy steps in. Courtney Addison shows us how you can earn your degree while getting credit at Troy.
Troy University has partnered with Southern Union Community College in Wadley to create the reverse transfer program.
Can you imagine running a race and not ever knowing that you crossed the finish line?
Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr. and other Board of Trustee members met with Southern Union officials Thursday to publicly launch this program. This is how it works. A student who starts at Southern Union is short just a few classes from earning an associate's degree, but the student decides to transfer to Troy to earn a bachelor's degree. Southern Union will then accept courses taken at Troy and credit them towards the associate's degree. That way, a student could potentially earn 2 degrees, one from Troy and one from Southern Union.
You know, what this is going to do is going to allow us to demonstrate to the whole world what we already knew. Alabamians are smart people.
Troy prides itself in being a university that thinks outside the box.
Troy University has a long history of collaboration with the community colleges throughout the state of Alabama.
Chancellor Hawkins says this program is an easy way to better the state of Alabama as a whole.
We can reward people in a very symbolic fashion and a meaningful fashion, the more it translates into dollars and cents for those people and for the state of Alabama.
Troy University also donated to Southern Union Scholarship Bank. Courtney Addison, Troy TrojanVision News.
According to Chancellor Hawkins, this is just the first reverse transfer program. Troy is working on establishing this program with other community colleges around the state.
The International Student Culture Organization had elections last night, and Chantel Wilson gives us a look at the new executive board.
Troy University is home to students from all over the world, and there is an organization on campus designed to help promote multiculturalism among students, the International Student Cultural Organization, or ISCO.
Basically where we are is we're a club that not only brings all the international students from over 67 representative countries here in our meetings today, but we also try to connect the international population with the domestic students, and that really is just like being able to bring them together under like one umbrella, and that's ISCO.
On Thursday night, ISCO held an election to select new officers for the organization for this school year.
The elections are actually imperative to what we do. We're a big team and we deal with a lot of international students and a lot of domestic students. So just in the sheer numbers, having the officers to help us out is going to be great, and they're really important positions.
The positions the students were running for at the meeting were promotional officer, activities coordinator, and treasurer. One student that was elected gave insight on his position and what he looks forward to during his term.
I mean, like, I organize activities, I give my opinion. That's what I like about the position and this chair, because I want like to give my opinion, to organize, to make activities, to communicate with people from all over the world, from other countries. I mean, like, you know that ISCO is an international student organization, so I want to meet many people from all over the world.
The International Students Cultural Organization will hold its next meeting Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Hall of Honor. This is Chantel Wilson, Troy TrojanVision News.
The ISCO Festival will be held during homecoming week.
Homecoming may still be over a month away, but it is already time for Troy female students to throw their hat into the ring for this year's homecoming court. Homecoming court applications and rules are now on the SGA Elections website. Troy University female students may be nominated for homecoming queen only by on-campus student organizations. A nomination fee of $25 per candidate must be paid by the nominating organization by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, September 9th, 2014. Only one candidate may be nominated per organization. To see the rules and get the application, you can visit the SGA's website at trojan.troy.edu/SGA.
And homecoming court candidates aren't the only applications that SGA is looking for. The SGA is also looking for some students to fill seats in the Student Senate. The SGA is now taking applications for its vacant seats All Residence Hall, the College of Business, and 2 at-large positions are open. Applicants must have a 2.3 GPA and be available for Tuesday night meeting at 6:30 p.m. Applications can also be found on the SGA website at trojan.troy.edu/SGA and are due by Friday, September 29th at 4 p.m. in the SGA's office, Trojan Center 215.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, police arrested 7 people at the Alabama Capitol after the group refused to leave during a protest over an expansion of Medicaid in the state. They were taken to the Montgomery County Jail on charges of criminal trespassing. The arrest followed the days of protest at the Capitol.
A school in Pell City is helping students cope with the loss of one of their classmates who collapsed in a classroom and died. Authorities say 13-year-old Jalen Puckett died at a hospital yesterday after collapsing at Durham North Junior High School in St. Sinclair County. He was an 8th grader.
And in Birmingham, motorists will see lower prices at the pumps this holiday weekend. AAA of Alabama reports that the average price for a gallon of regular gasoline is $3.20. That's 14 cents less than at the same time last year. Birmingham has the state's most expensive gas at $3.23 a gallon for regular. Tuscaloosa is cheapest at $3.13. Still to come on TrojanVision News, the football team plays UAB tomorrow, and Clay Yeager will give us a full preview when he joins us in sports.
And how will President Obama handle the ISIS crisis? We'll have that and more coming after the break.
Critics blast President Obama for saying the U.S. has no firm strategy yet for taking on ISIS militants in Syria. I'm Tara Mergener in Washington with the story coming up.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy! And refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit homefoodsafety.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan Sports on TrojanVision News.
The Trojan football season kicks off this weekend in a matchup between Troy and UAB. Amy Austin takes a look at a game that has become a bit of a heated rivalry over the years.
Coming up on the first football game of the season, and it is one of the season's biggest rivalries. Troy will take on UAB for the 12th time.
It is always very close, most of the time very equal, down to the fourth quarter, down to the last play a few years ago. The game is a highly contested, very competitive, very close and equal, cross-conference lines, USA and Sun Belt, in-state rivalry.
The players also realized the intensity behind the rivalry, and Waylon Coleman Dancer said in-state adds to familiarity among the players.
Oh, it's always, the intensity is always high, especially with it being in-state. You see a lot of familiar faces from guys, especially the guys that are from Alabama. They have a lot of friends that play for UAB and attend to the school. So, the fans are wild, and it's just a great atmosphere. It's college football. Troy
won last year's matchup in overtime, and not only does the rivalry give the team bragging rights, it also sets the pace for the rest of the season.
It's always a big game, an in-state rival, UAB. I guess it's been bad blood there since I've been here for as long as I've known, so it's always a big game for us, and it's the opener of the season, so we always want to start it off right. So, we're getting ready any way we can to pump everybody up to let them know that it's a serious game for everybody.
The record stands at 7-4, with Troy looking to add number 8 to the win column. While playing at UAB, the team split 3-3, showing that this year's rivalry will be one for the Bullets.
Probably the biggest rivalry in the state outside of the Iron Bowl, I would like to say. Definitely, because Troy is probably the most tradition outside of Alabama, Auburn in the state as far as football-wise, and then UAB, they're up-and-coming program, been around about 20 years. So, it's just good to have two smaller schools in the state have such a great rivalry.
Amy Alston, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The two teams will be set to play at 11 a.m. in Birmingham at Legion Field. The Troy soccer team is coming off a 6-0 win over Alabama State and looks to continue their winning streak at home this weekend at the soccer complex. Right now, the Trojans are underway playing Kennesaw State later this weekend. Troy will also play Tennessee Tech on the 31st and is set to play at 3 p.m. And head coach Jason Hamilton believes that playing at home will give his team some much-needed rest.
It's always good to play at home. You get to sleep in your own bed. You're comfortable with everything that's going on. You're not getting off a bus on a road trip. So we're happy to be home after that the weekend that we had, and we're even happier to be going into this weekend with 2 home games. So we're looking forward to being here for a little while and getting some rest.
Again, Troy plays Tennessee Tech on the 31st at the soccer complex at 3 p.m. Earlier this week, we introduced you to the new softball coach. She is the only second head coach in school history, and today, Courtney Addison will show us more about what she plans on bringing to the table this season.
I want to be a winner at everything we do, and that's, in the classroom, on the field, in the community.
To say Coach Mullins has high expectations would be an understatement, but another key factor to the success of any program is energy, and that is something Mullins says she is going to demand on and off the field. High energy is something modeled from a former mentor at Mississippi State, Van Studeman.
Just when it comes to the energy part that I'm trying to kind of bring here, she is just the epitome of bringing energy and showing excitement and getting her kids to love to play the game of softball. And you see it. And when you watch Mississippi State play, and my goal is to, when you watch Troy softball, you're going to feel the excitement that the girls feel when they're playing.
The game of softball is known for being a fast-paced game, and that is exactly what Mullins intends to bring.
It's going to be fast, 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 fast. That's how I want to run it. We have a great group of girls that I think these fans are going to want to be invested in.
Most sports fans anticipate knowing who the #1 pitcher is and getting to know the depth chart, but Mullins says there will be no #1 or #2 on her team. Her team will run on a staffing system instead. She says this is something that she feels will push her team even more.
They know the better they are, the better their teammate is, and they're only going to be as good as the next person.
Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojan softball team will play their first official games under Mullins starting in February.